Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I like that. A few extra folks piled in.
Oh yeah, we got a few extra folks for the holidays after holidays.
They're trying to see the birthday boy.
Okay, hold up.
They tried to pile in for the birthday boy.
Yeah. He said, "That's my dog."
They try to come and see the birthday boy. Coming to you live from the Sit Your Ass Down studios. Welcome to the Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
for that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
No diddy.
That's an ass. Today is December 27th, 2024. We thank you for listening to us. But we get too knee deep into it. Happy birthday to my son, podcast partner Dave Jr. Woo.
Let's get it.
Happy birthday, son. Let's get it. Let's knock this out. Season 3, and he's the big 3-0.
Big 3-0.
In season 3.
Season 3.
3-0.
In the 3-0. And we 3-0.
Yes, sir. Start off with a rest in peace, man, to probably one of the best leadoff hitters in the history of the MLB. Ricky Henderson passed away. I'm going to get to him a little bit later on in the podcast because I want to point out some things about his illustrious career. A shock today, longtime legendary broadcaster Greg Gumbel passed away at the age of 78. Older brother Bryant Gumbel. Greg Gumbel called 2 Super Bowls, hosted the NCAA March Madness tournament for years.
I did see
in 2022, Gumbel celebrated his 50th year of broadcasting. So rest in peace
Gumbel passed away?
Greg Gumbel, yes, sir.
He died today.
Today, yeah, to actor Art Evans, record producer Richard Perry, U.S. Representative Margaret Keys, who was from Kansas, and young actor Hudson Meek. I don't know if anybody remembers him from the movie Baby Driver. And then Olympic snowboarder Sophie Hediger was 26. She died in an avalanche.
That's crazy.
That's one way I didn't think of going. But yeah, not an avalanche. I don't want to be buried under snow. A lot of snow.
A lot of snow. So,
yeah.
That's all bad.
That's
man.
all bad.
That's just that's just not one way you would think about going out.
Right.
Not even to like an avalanche.
That's not even on the radar.
Right.
Don't even want to be on the radar.
Man, you see it in movies, but it's just Rest in
You just don't think, rest in peace to Miss Sophie Hediger,
That's
Olympic
so sad.
snowboard. Birthday's on the 29th. We celebrate birthdays on the day that we release the podcast, which is always on a Sunday. To Denver Broncos coach Sean Payton celebrates a birthday on the 29th. Center fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays and a World Series winner, Devon White. He had 7 Gold Gloves in his career. To CEO businessman Wayne Huizenga. Used to own Waste Management, Blockbuster.
Huizenga.
Sports team owner of the Dolphins and the Panthers and the Florida Marlins at one point. He celebrates a birthday. Ray Nitschke, all-pro linebacker for the Green Bay Packers in the 60s. And to Pete Dye, American golf course designer. He designed the TPC at Sawgrass, Crooked Stick, and Oakwood Country Club. And those are our birthdays. And then a little bit of history for today.
Okay, a little history.
Or the 29th. In 2020, the Milwaukee Bucks break the NBA record for most three-pointers made by a team in a single game with 29 in a 144-97 victory over the Miami Heat. 2007, Tom Brady sets a then NFL record, throwing his 50th touchdown pass, and the New England Patriots became the first team in NFL history to finish the regular season at 16-0. We know how that turned out.
Man.
Got all the way to the Super Bowl.
The last game.
And lost, man.
And
That was a hurtful season. Randy Moss, man, he had a real good season. In 1989, Wayne Gretzky and Martina Navratilova were named the Athletes of the Decade by the Associated Press. 1984, the St. Louis Blues launched 27 shots in one period, but they lost 5-1 to the New York Islanders. That was kind of crazy. 1982, American college football coach Paul Bear Bryant for Alabama ends his career with 323 wins. And then on this day, in 1974, the AFC Championship was between the Pittsburgh Steelers, Oakland Raiders, and the Steelers won 24-13. In the NFC Championship game, the Minnesota Vikings beat the LA Rams 14-10. So 3 of those teams right about now will make the playoffs. Currently, looks like the Raiders will not be one of those.
Most likely not. If I was a betting man,
if we were betting people,
I could.
Yeah, it's pretty much a safe bet. That's one I think I'd bet my life on.
That's 99%.
0.9%. 99.99999%.
999.
Did you know this was a thing?
And this is a thing?
This is a thing part 2. Last week we spoke about, and excess. We are powered by
Blue
excess.
Raz. We are powered by excess.
New flavor.
Did you know this was a thing?
Blue Raz.
Blue Raz.
Yeah, that's new. I hope it's not a rap for mine, but anyway, because it wasn't on the roster.
Right. It's not a rap.
Did you know this was a thing part 2? Deshaun Jackson, former wide receiver for the Eagles, will be named the head coach of the Delaware State football team, another HBCU school. Again, as we prefaced last week, the trend got started with Deion Sanders going into Jackson State, then Eddie George went to Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Vick just recently was named the head coach of Norfolk State.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Deshaun Jackson. So another former pro going in to help young black men further their careers.
Amen.
My question for you, D, now are we starting to get out of hand with it where coaches who don't have experience are starting to take jobs from young coaches with experience who are trying to get their feet wet in that environment? Are we taking jobs away from them now because all of a sudden they can't get a gig?
I'm going to say maybe yes and no, maybe more towards no. I would say because a lot of times of those lower ranked schools, especially HBCUs, they're not paying a whole lot as far as coaching. Most of the time when you go there, you're mainly just trying to get experience. And I don't know, I'll have to look at the numbers to see how many applicants they get per year as far as coaching, because I don't think it's necessarily taken away from any other coaches, because I feel like
you were talented enough, you'd be on their radar in the first place.
That's what I'm trying to say. If you were talented enough and actually could turn around a program, I feel like you should have no competition, especially because there's many HBCUs out there who are needing just good head coaching, who are needing some good coordinators.
Good coaches all the way around.
But I like it to where, like a Deshaun Jackson, you bring in some highlight to the school. I think that's the reason why I like the bigger stars. Now, we don't know if they have any coaching experience, but you never know. A lot of times, if a player was really into the playbook and really knew the X's and O's as far as from a player standpoint, then it might be easy transition going into coaching because they might already have those qualities anyway. Long story short, to answer your question, I don't believe that it's taken away from anything. I actually like it as far as bringing exposure to HBCUs.
I think it's a good thing because one thing that you need as a school, and as you said, an HBCU that's not high on the radar, is you need name recognition.
Yep.
Well, if you've got a coach with name recognition, that's part of the battle.
Yep.
And that player can attract players that normally would not go there. They may go to a smaller school or a JUCO or somewhere else where, Mike Vick is there. Oh, I remember Mike Vick. I think I might want to play for him. Oh, he was in the NFL, so he knows some people in the NFL that could possibly help me make the next move, the jump to the next level. He can help me get my game to where it needs to be, whereas just a coach at another school may not be able to do that. Again, and to your point, at the end of the day, as long as they're doing positive things in the community, as long as they're doing positive things to further young black men, I think that's a great thing. It's just interesting, though.
It's a trend now.
It's a trend, but the other thing is that Deshaun Jackson was the offensive coordinator for a high school. So he makes the jump from high school to, and he wasn't even a head coach. The other thing, and I want to point this out too, is you don't always have to know all the X's and O's or be that great into the playbook. You can be the CEO. You're
Yeah.
in charge of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
The day,
As long as you have good coaches around you and you can build a staff, which that's one of the things that Deion Sanders was able to do this past year. He made his team better by getting better coaches. Dear David, happy birthday to you. That was impromptu.
Yes, sir.
That was
Happy
impromptu.
birthday to the man himself. Come on.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. For the one time.
What's up, fellas?
Awesome. Pop said, "What's up?"
Oh, they
Y'all
can't
see-
hear me, Candy. What's up, Aaron?
You'll
What's up,
see him
Keenan?
tomorrow.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. He said he finna roast y'all ass tomorrow.
I'm ready.
If anybody's ready for the Aaron is.
Appreciate y'all. I'll be out.
Where
We were talking about.
I knew we were still talking about the HBCUs, but we were talking.
you're talking about
the CEO. You're the CEO of the program. You don't necessarily have to know the X's and O's inside out. As long as you surround yourself
There you go.
with good people who do know the X's and O's and that can teach the game, and then you do the recruiting part, you do the handshaking in the community, you do the fundraising, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be needed from you. I think all in all, it can work. Deshaun is iffy for me because I just don't know his background, but obviously he has a love for the game. And I don't think he'd be doing it just to do, like you said, it's not like they're getting paid on a grand scale. You have to be wanting to give something back. And all those players that we named, Deion, Eddie George, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Vick, they all made a nice living in the NFL. So it's not
really
like
nice.
they're
Yeah.
hurting for money. And so I think it's a good thing. All right, so we're going to move on. And as I said earlier at the top, we lost Ricky Henderson the other day. And I just want to give you a little bit about Ricky Henderson. He holds the MLB records for career stolen bases, 1,406. All-time run scored, 2,295. Unintentional walks, 2,129. And leadoff home runs, 81. So he led off a game with a home run 81 times in his career, which is outstanding. At the time of his last major league game in 2003, he was a 10-time All-Star. Henderson is the only player ever to record at least 3,000 hits and 2,000 walks. To sum it up, he had a hell of a career. And then one story that I have, one year he got a $1 million bonus, and it came in the form of a check. And Ricky was so proud of that, he took the check and framed it. And so towards the end of the year, the accountants are going through the books and did the research. Well, Ricky hadn't cashed the check. So they told him, cash the check, make a copy of it if you want to frame it, and then put that on the wall.
That's crazy.
So he took it to the bank and he
he
cashed
was
his
just
check.
sitting on it.
Yeah, he was just sitting on it. He said, as long as I have this check, I'll always be a millionaire.
That's crazy.
So
That mug ain't gonna bounce eventually. That's funny.
that's how Ricky was, though. He was a different bird, but man, he was a talented bird. So that's our Ricky Henderson
Ricky.
background and story. Moving on to the CFP, the college football playoffs.
CFP, yeah, you know me.
The first game was last Friday night, Notre Dame against Indiana. We both picked Notre
Braxton.
Dame. We got that one right. So the number 7 Fighting Irish dogged out the number 10 Hoosiers 27-17. It wasn't much of a game until Indiana started coming back. And then on last Saturday, number 6 Penn State beat number 11 SMU. We both took SMU in that. because I
Man, we
remember
went
our
with the
comments,
upset.
huh?
We was trying to go like with the upset a little
With
bit.
the
You feel
upset,
me?
plus I still don't believe Penn State is all that. I just don't, and it goes to show. I thought SMU was overranked anyway. I didn't think they
Yeah.
needed to be there. So they got beat 38-10. Number
Stomp.
5, Texas beat number 12, Clemson. We did get that one right.
Yep.
We took that one. And then number 8, Ohio State beat number 9, Tennessee, 42-17. We took
Ooh, a
Tennessee,
shellacking.
a shellacking,
A shellacking.
stomping. Tennessee just got beat down.
They got beat down.
So the upcoming games are as follows. On New Year's Eve, you got number 6 Penn State taking on number 3 Boise State in the
Boise.
Fiesta Bowl. And then on New Year's Day, number 5 Texas will take on number 4 Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. Number 8 Ohio State will take on top seed number 1 Oregon in the Rose Bowl. And in the nightcap, you got number 7 Notre Dame taking on those number
Notre
2
Dame.
Georgia Bulldogs in the Sugar Bowl.
Man.
We'll go back through those. Number 6 Penn State taking on number 3 Boise. Who you got? I got Penn State in that one.
Yeah. I'll probably go. I'm gonna go Penn State. I like
My
State.
rationale is I don't think Boise State's played anyone.
I'll go Penn State. I think actually gonna be a good game. I think Genty's gonna do his thing. I didn't even really watch the Penn State game to see who they have. I do feel like Penn State faces tougher competition. So yeah, I'll probably go Penn State.
All right, son. And then we move on to the number 5 Texas taking on Arizona State. I'm going with Texas.
I'll go Texas. Yeah, I'll go Texas.
We from Texas.
We from Texas.
And then number 8 Ohio State taking on Oregon. And they played a tough game earlier in the season. I think it ended up being a 2-3 point game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Oregon, though.
Damn. Ooh, it's going to be close. That's going to be a good game.
That might be the best game on the docket.
I'm going to go O State. I'll go Ohio.
All right. And then in the nightcap, you got those Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on those Georgia Bulldogs.
The
I'm
Dogs.
taking Georgia. Right now, they're a 1-point favorite, and a lot of people are surprised just because they have Gunnar Stockton under center. You got your backup quarterback. Carson Beck won't be back for the playoffs. Matter of fact, he underwent surgery the other day, so there's no chance he'll be back at all. So it is resting on the arm of Gunnar to win this if they can get all the way to the championship game. So yeah, so our picks, we both took Penn State. I took Texas. We both took Texas. Yep. You took Ohio State. I took Oregon. And then we both take the Bulldogs in that 4th game. So, man, it is as exciting as I can remember. Truthfully, D, I never really watched up until they got to that championship game. I didn't have a lot of interest.
Right.
I don't have a dog in the fight either way. I latched onto your team. And I'm excited about seeing what these games are going to be about. And then more importantly, after it's all over, what tweaks are they going to make? Because they're already talking about 14 teams. And I'm like, come on, man. Can we do this for a few years at 12?
Yeah, they just want to get the rating.
They want the money.
They want to add more weeks to it to where, oh, man, people are tuning in like that. Leave it at 12. 12 is good.
But at the end of the day, they're not thinking about the impact it's having on these players. 90% of these players aren't going on to the next level. It's just a fact. You're not, that's numbers. And it's the numbers.
It's the numbers, Cam. The numbers.
So the more games you keep adding on and you're stretching this almost to February, damn.
Yeah.
Greed is a Mickey Ficky, D.
Greed is a Mickey Ficky.
All right. I hope you didn't say that.
Man, I know you didn't say that.
You shouldn't have said that. But I'm going to tell you what this person said. It's Eric Dickerson on Saquon Barkley possibly breaking his record. Saquon is only about 300 yards shy of the record, maybe a little less. Anyway, this is Eric Dickerson, and I quote, "I don't think he'll break it, but if he breaks it, he breaks it. Do I want him to break it? Absolutely not. I don't pull no punches on that. but I'm not whining about it. He had 17 games to do it. Hey, football is football. That's the way I look at it. If he's fortunate to get over 2,000 yards and get the record, it's a great record to have, end quote. Now, give it a little background. It took him 16 games to break OJ's record. OJ did it in 14 games. Eric Dickerson did it in 16. So he gives a little bit later on, he gives OJ a lot of credit. Hey, it did take me 16 games to do it, but I did do it. So he's saying if Saquon does do it, he deserves it. He just don't think he'll do it. I don't think he's going to do it either.
Man, it's going to be tough. We only got
2 games. They got 2 games left.
How many more yards does he need?
Here, we're going to figure it out exactly. So.
Oh, sorry,
no, that's fine. Yeah, I want to know my damn self.
Yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, for real. It's going to be tough for him to get it. But, yeah, he did throw it in there saying, like, well, he did have an extra week to get it.
But knowing he had 2 extra games.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're going to go off of it, OJ set the standard doing it in 14 games. So he was really running his, he was really running.
So he's at 1838, Saquon is. And let's see, what's the record?
He needs like 400 yards.
It's 21 something, 267. He needs almost 134 yards per game. He's not getting it. I guess the more important thing.
He ain't getting that much.
The more important thing is who do they play in those 2 games. So let's see. They got the Cowboys Sunday, and they got the Giants the following week on the 5th. Wouldn't that be something if he just had a heyday against the damn Giants?
I mean, he did have the first meeting. He did have a heyday.
133 is a lot of yards, though.
That's a lot of yards, and honestly, especially like
and people know you're trying to break it.
And from a organization standpoint, you don't want to just keep feeding him a rock if it's unnecessary, because we're gonna need you for the playoffs. We're going to be in the playoffs, bro. So would I rather you? Yes, it would be nice to get the record if it's within the playbook or scheme. If I'm calling plays and you're just breaking them off for 70-something yards, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna. I don't know if you just want to just keep running the ball. It is football. Right. It is football. It is football. At the end of the day, you can't just avoid injury and play it safe, because there's no playing it safe in football.
You could be just standing on the sidelines and get cracked.
That's what I'm saying.
Innocently, right? Somebody running, trying to tackle someone else.
So I think they'll run him regularly, so he can see if he can try to get it. If he's close to getting it, then yeah, I'll let him get it. But I'll just call whatever
you normally would call.
Whatever you normally call.
The natural progression of the ball game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I was looking
for. Flow.
It's natural progression. Yeah, the natural flow of the game. If you hot, we'll keep calling your number. If you not, we're not going to force it.
And those other teams are going to load the box up, because they don't want to be the ones that let him get the record. He's that close. Yeah, I'd be keen on him. I'm serious. I'd put 7 in the box. And if Jalen Hurts isn't back from concussion protocol, then I'm going to make whoever the backup is, whether it's Kenny Pickett or that third string quarterback, I'm going to make that person beat me. I am not going to let Saquon get those yards. We'll load 8 in the box if we have to. That's going to be a real interesting dynamic. No one wants a record broken, but they always say records are made to be broken.
They're meant to be
Some
broken.
aren't going to be broken, though, man. Oh, man. Damn. I wish I had the stat in front of me, but Klay Thompson just passed he just passed Reggie Miller on a 3-point list, and he's still way behind Steph and James Harden. Yeah. What's James Harden doing this season, D? We're going to transition into basketball. Is he doing much? I haven't heard his name.
I haven't really been keeping up with him. I know he still is with LA.
I know he's with the Clippers. I was just wondering, normally you hear something, either drama, he wants to be traded, or he's he's injured, or he's playing extremely well.
He's averaging 22, 6, and 8.
That's not bad. Not at his age. He's got a lot of mileage.
22, 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5 rebounds and 8
That's
assists.
damn good, actually. Anytime you score
That's
more than
smooth.
20 points a game, averaging at that level, that's pretty damn good.
He had 2 games over 35. One game he had 40, one game he had 39. The rest are about 20, 24,
Mhm.
19, 15, 23, 20.
They say Wembanyama
So it's just
starting to
like,
move up in the MVP race.
did you see him on
Yeah.
Christmas?
That's gonna be your future MVP for some years
Yeah,
to
that's
come.
if we see the next unicorn of the NBA, LeBron's getting towards the end of his career. Wemby's gonna be the next little. He's like what Kareem.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna put him at that level. Don't get me wrong. He's not at that. He ain't won no championships. He ain't won no.
But
Don't get
he
me wrong.
has
But I'm
that
just
kind
saying as
of
far as
skill
the
set. Yeah.
trajectory, the trajectory.
Yeah. He's got the skill
The
set. Yeah.
trajectory.
And
Pop,
Kareem couldn't shoot threes. That wasn't part of their game. This man
dude.
can stroke threes like no
If
other.
it's gonna be unreal, shooting
You
threes
can't
like that,
stop
and then
him.
he can get to
So
the lane.
if I
You're
can't
not gonna be
stop
able
you
to
on
stop
the
him.
outside, then I damn sure can't stop you on the inside.
Barring injury, wait till he's because he's just 19. Is he 19?
I
I
think
don't
he's
even know
about
how old is he.
19
Is it
now,
18?
20.
Not even. Wait till he's 25,
And just
26.
got a little weight on him.
A little more weight, but he's still able to move. I think. Yeah, I think he's gonna be. Yeah, especially with some role pieces. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. You find another little. Of course, it's easy to say that, but you find another point guard, Tony Parker-esque. You find another 6-man, Ginobili. You got your little team. You got the rendition of a Tim Duncan-esque, type player with that organization. I don't know how long Pop is going to be coaching.
I don't think he's back yet, is he?
Oh yeah,
He's still out, but the coach has been doing pretty good without him.
Yeah. Well, I would assume if you're coming from a Popovich coaching staff, you got to be pretty sharp.
Yeah, you're on that coming from that Pops
that tree,
coaching tree,
that branch coaching tree. So no, but yeah, Wemby's coach. But yeah,
well, that segued into one of my questions. I was going to ask, did you watch any of the Christmas games?
I just got to watch Minnesota versus.
So you watched that one? That's the one I watched a lot of. The Dallas game.
Minnesota and the
Dallas
game,
almost got him. Kyrie was leading them back. That's when we found out too that Luka's hurt and may be out for a while.
Yeah,
calf injury. But yeah, Dallas walked Minnesota down. I think it ended up being 105-99. Yeah, it was 105-99 was the score. Obviously, I didn't watch I didn't get to see the Celtics and who did the Celtics play? Minnesota. It was Milwaukee, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. That's the only 2 games I got to watch.
And the other thing too, when you're going up against the NFL, it was a great day of sports. You had football and basketball all day long from 11 o'clock
all day
till what, 10, 11? Because that late game was Phoenix against, I think it was Phoenix and Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was all Christmas.
It was all Christmas, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was pretty much the whole day. And you had wall-to-wall sports, but again, you get tired of it. You can't watch all of it. You certainly can't watch it all day, but you had entertainment. I thought it was good. I hate that football is taking the NBA shine because that used to be their day.
Yeah, because that was the day for it. Christmas was the day for the NBA. It was
always the day for the NBA. That's when people say the NBA technically started was on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And you always had the matchups.
Because that's when you all the eyes were on the NBA, but now you got NFL taking the spotlight away from it and putting up these marquee games. Now the games weren't as good; they were blowouts.
Yeah,
I expected a little bit better games, but as far as the attention, I think that was more of a highlight. You're like, ooh, let me watch the Steelers versus Kansas City. Let me watch Baltimore versus the Texans, and the NBA games took a back seat when usually, like you said, they're the highlight. That's what you look forward to.
Let me watch Beyonce at halftime. That was a Super Bowl performance.
They did.
That was really a Super Bowl performance what she put on.
I was confused because I didn't watch it, and I'm like, when did this happen?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
I was like, when was this? Like this, it was such a spectacular
display.
As far as the display. I'm like, damn, what's this? Did she have a concert?
Pretty much.
Come to find out, it was for the halftime for the NFL. I'm like,
right. for a
Dang.
Christmas Day game. She set
You
the
had
bar.
you had fans of Beyonce. That's another way the
Mm-hmm.
NFL is killing it by these
Yeah.
performers. Entertainment. People were watching the Super Bowl when Rihanna was doing it just because
Right.
Rihanna is going to be there.
Right.
You're gonna watch the games just because Beyonce's doing it. I'm watching these Chiefs games just because Taylor Swift.
Right. They've
They-
caught on
they-
to that. Yeah.
They've caught on to it's entertainment too. We need to get just viewership.
She put on a
NBA
hell
is
of a
struggling.
show.
Yeah,
Had little
NBA is
Blue
struggling.
Ivy
They gotta-
dancing with her. I mean,
and it's just like, where did time go? Blue Ivy grown.
I thought she was older than what she is. She's only 12. And she was
Yeah,
on
like
that,
at
but she
13,
was on
yeah.
that whole tour with her mom. She's one of the dancers, so she's getting paid.
Yeah, I thought she was like 12,
She-
13. Yeah, 12, 13
I read
or
she's
something like that.
Yeah,
But
she got paid.
back when you seen it, you still thinking she's a little baby. That's how much time goes by. You still thinking like Beyonce just got pregnant, but no, they've had Blue Ivy for a while.
Man.
Daddy going to jail.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, so we'll move it to the NBA rankings. They
Allegedly.
changed a little bit, and this is prior to the Christmas Day slate top 5. Cleveland jumped back into that top spot at 25-4. Number 2 is
Okay.
OKC, 22-5. Number 3, Boston Celtics, 22-6. The Memphis Grizzlies quietly number 4 at 20-9, and number 5, Dallas Mavericks at 18-10. My team, the Warriors, started off like they were going to get back into some playoff contention. Deep, they're lousy right now. They've been losing a lot of close games. I'm hoping they can pull the trigger and get Jimmy Butler. They need something. Steph needs some help. They don't have enough.
He really does need
They don't
help.
have enough.
He can't just do it by himself. It's gonna be no player in today's game can do it by themselves because there's too much firepower on every single team. You're gonna need at least about three stars and 2 role players,
or at least
who contribute.
2 stars and a nice deep bench. Pause.
Yeah,
Seriously.
but yeah, you're gonna need at least 2 to 3 stars on a team
with some star role players too.
With some star role players who know how to play.
They know. Excuse the pun. Their role. They know what they're expected to do for the team. But you're gonna have that. But Steph needs some help. Like I said, I'm hoping they can pull the trigger in that Jimmy Butler trade, and that'd be nice because he wants out. Now Pat Riley said yesterday that he's not going to trade him, but people say that all the time. Yeah, I know you don't want to trade him, but you don't have a team either that's in position to win
Butler the type.
Huh?
He gonna fight the locker room until he get traded, or he for real like that.
He
he
can't
ain't gonna
get
be
an
cool
attitude
with real quick, and he'll hold it.
Yes,
too.
sir. And did you know it's not a sandwich?
It's not a panini.
It's not a taco.
It's not a burrito.
It's not a pizza. It's a good Christmas wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a good Christmas
This just
wrap.
happened today. Mike Brown, formerly of the Sacramento Kings, they got off to a 13-18 start, and they let Mike go. He was the coach of the year, just in the 2022-23 season.
A couple
2 years ago, he was the coach
not
of the
last
year.
year, but the year before. Going head to head
Going
with the
head
Warriors.
to head with the Warriors, and they were playing
like
very good basketball.
They were.
I'm hoping that the Warriors bring him back as their defensive coach because he was real good with them. But this would be he was with Cleveland, he was with the Lakers, Sacramento,
Warriors.
But he wasn't the head coach for the Warriors. I'm just thinking his head coaching jobs.
Oh, he was head coach for the Lakers.
Yeah, remember he had him for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
He didn't do much, but yeah, man, it's a wrap for Mike Brown. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was tough.
I thought he was doing okay. I mean,
yeah,
who are you gonna put in there that's gonna do any better?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I think it's too. Depending on the situation, they're too quick to fire somebody.
Right.
But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. There's different things to go on. But like you said,
they just gave him a contract extension over the summer. So you had to be pleased with what he was doing.
So I'm just like, what okay, they're having a rough season, but it's not like the Kings really made any splashes. You got pretty much the same team, but just injuries. Sabonis is injured. You had I don't know. It's the
It's the
Kings.
Kings. At the end of the day, it's the Sacramento Kings.
This has been the MO. They might be good for a year.
Yep.
Then next year might just be not the best, but I don't know. It's like you said, it's almost what you. Who else is going to come in there and just who's going to come in there and just turn around and do what you're
I
expecting?
thought Luke Walton was going to be a good coach for them. He did okay for a little bit. He got fired, and it's one of those franchises that over the years it just seems like it's snake bitten. It's just they like you said, they'll have a year, maybe 2-3 good years, a nice run, and then they'll just go back to mediocrity. And then they're looking for the next best thing, next best coach. They've got some talent. They just hadn't been able to do anything with it. So moving on to the NFL, the Monday night game, man. Sorry, CC. Green Bay 34, New Orleans. I can't remember the last time I saw a team score any points.
0 points. Sorry, CC. That's all bad. That was all bad. 0. Goose egg.
Last night's game wasn't much better. That Baltimore game wasn't all that. And we can move on to the Christmas Day. Yeah, Kansas City 29, Steelers 10. That was somewhat of a game, but Russell Wilson self-destructed again, and that leads me to think, D, that he's going to be one and done, son. I don't think they're going to be able to bring him back because he's definitely regressed, unless he takes a pay cut. They signed him for the $1 million, and I think Denver's paying the rest of his contract. They paid to get rid of him pay for him to leave or whatever the case may be. Dang, I just don't know, Russ. I'd be going with Justin Fields, at least in some of those instances where the offense is stagnant because you don't have Pickens. They had him return. He didn't do much. But when the offense is stagnant, at least he can get you a first down with his legs. Russell can't do that anymore. So.
Yeah, his dynamic ability is taken away. It's so funny. Have you been watching the Hard Knocks?
I didn't see the last one, so this.
Have you been noticing? I told you Russell has been in tune with his blackness since he's been there. He's been, hey, I'm gonna holler at you. He had an encounter with Jalen Hurts after the game.
Oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, what'd you say? I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna holler at you. He was trying to talk a little bit more smooth. I'm like, okay, Russ.
Lil Future taught him that.
Lil Future taught him. No, my daddy told me to say it.
And then you had Baltimore 31, Houston 2. I think this was the game of the day, just for the simple fact, well, it was the two games, but of the two, man, I think Lamar Jackson.
How much did Houston score?
Huh?
How much did Houston score?
2 points. They got that. They got that safety, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was all bad too.
All bad.
Your defense scored more points than your offense. Lamar Jackson, he only threw for 168 yards with the 2 touchdowns he did throw for. The runs that he made broke Mike Vick's record for rushing.
We just talked about him.
And he didn't even play most of the fourth quarter. I think he snatched that MVP back from Josh Allen. This was a MVP-defining moment, in my opinion. Just sitting back watching the entire game.
It goes back and forth.
That was the MVP.
It goes back and forth.
I think this is going to be it, though, D, because Josh isn't going to have any marquee games now. There's not a game where he can really showcase that, where you can just see him like we could see Lamar on Christmas Day. And that's what writers are going to remember. He's getting ready to throw for 40 touchdown passes. First time in his career that he's ever done that. Approaching 4,000 yards.
His numbers are better than the years he's won MVP.
When he's won the MVP, both times. So,
right,
and year over year, and then in a year where you didn't throw as much, but you're as efficient, say the man's as QBR is 121. Yeah, it's gonna.
That means he's not
He's
making
not making
mistakes. That means
mistakes. He's not giving the ball away like he used to.
he's not having those careless fumbles.
Hey,
We just need him. We just need him to make a run to the Super Bowl, baby.
I'm off the Josh Allen train. I had to jump on off after seeing that performance. I'm good. I think that might be I think Lamar might have got it back. So that was an interesting game. Derrick Henry also had a great game. 27 attempts, 147 yards and a touchdown. And then Thursday night football last night, Seattle Mariners 6, Chicago Cubs 3. That's what it should have been.
It was a basic. That's
6-3, man.
Trash bag.
Three field goals, D.
That
was terrible. And I'm going to talk about the ending in a little bit, but for Chicago, that organization they're snake bitten.
They're struggling. They're snake bitten. Since the 85
Bears.
Bears.
They cannot get it right.
They ain't got it right since 85.
Man.
You need Mike Ditka.
Man, that's just sorry, man. 6-3.
Decision making.
I thought, like I said a few weeks ago, the 12-6 game that the Niners had, well, they just cut that in half, 6-3. That was a hard watch. That was a bad watch last night. This week's game of the week, I got 2 nominees: the Packers and the Vikings. You know, there's going to be playoff implications in that, and then the Buffalo Bills and the Jets. And the only reason I say that's a marquee game because, again, Josh Allen, he's going to be trying to get that MVP award away from Lamar Jackson. He's going to have a huge game stat-wise to get the momentum back in his favor because, like I said, right now, with that game that Lamar had on Christmas Day, yeah, man, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to beat.
Game of the week for me, I'm going to do 2 of them. I'm going to do that Broncos and Bengals.
Yes.
They need both. That's a weird game because I think, like, if Broncos lose, Bengals, I think they need someone. The Bengals need someone else to lose,
but they'll still be in the playoff hunt.
But they'll be still to be in playoff contention. Broncos can beat the Bengals; they can eliminate them, and then add it with some. They need a little bit of help as well, but this will help them. So they're both fighting to get the playoffs. 2 young teams, 2 high-powered offenses that can score. Also, those Falcons and Commanders, man. Both teams need to keep the division lead. We just had the tiebreaker over Tampa, but we have the same record.
Is that the Sunday night game?
That's the Sunday night game.
Oh, man, that's a marquee game.
And then the Commanders, they just beat the Eagles, and they still need a battle just to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. So that's just that's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a real tough game, a game that we need. And it's just, I would like to have, if Kurt wasn't messing up, you would like to have him in this type of game because he's been in this type of environment before. But Penix played pretty well, so we're going to see.
This is where I would have liked for him to have started that Raiders game so that he'd have 2 games under his belt.
2 games under his belt to where now it's, you know, so. But we'll see.
All right, so moving on. Is there any juicy news tonight?
We got a little juicy news.
So that juicy news, because if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Young brother, young sister, young player, Dwight Howard, recently engaged. P. Diddy, Porter, Family, Cheetah. So continuation.
So that juicy news, man. Continuation from last week, because that juicy news, if you don't know, because now you know. We're talking about Leanna Lenny. So
is that her name?
Leanna Lenny?
I thought it was Leanna Lene, something like that.
Oh, Leanna Lene. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's Leanna Lene. I just don't know. What is it?
Leanna Lene.
Leanna Lene.
Lene.
Leanna Lene. Leanna Lene. That's a tough name. Leanna Lene.
He probably couldn't say it at first. Travis for a long time. That's why she didn't like him.
Man, so fiance of Travis Hunter, Leanna Lene. Leanna Lene. Is it Leanna Lene?
Right? I think you're saying it right, dude.
Filter fish? You filter fish?
Right.
Oh. She's back in the headlines because there's been multiple videos surfaced of her being with other dudes at parties. in the span that Travis and her have been together. She's been in music videos. She's been at parties with other dancing on other dudes at costume parties, dancing with other dudes. Also, she's been in the another dude posted a Snapchat of they was kicking it. She was kicking it
Oh,
with him.
damn.
All in the hotel, the dorm room, all just in there
Oh, in
kicking it. They was
Colorado?
laid up. Yes, this is
Because I
from
know
just a couple years ago.
the supposedly her dancing all up on somebody or twerking up on them. They say that was an old video.
That was an old video. So there's videos going in the past. There's a video that surfaced from 3 years
Mhm.
ago of her being with another in a music video and also being with another guy on Snapchat.
Man.
And to add more, they old video also resurfaced of how Travis and Leanna met. Pretty much, Travis hopped in the DM. She ignored him. His teammate was cool with Leanna. Saw that that Travis was like in the DMs. I guess he was talking about it, and his teammate knew Leanna, and they were just hanging out. And he was like, "Hey, Travis tried to hit you up," type of deal.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Who's Travis?" And he was like, "Oh, you don't know who this is? This Travis Hunter. This
Oh
is
no.
so and so." And that's when she replied back to him, and then they got
To where they are now.
start talking. So allegedly, you would think, oh, he probably said, "Oh, this Travis Hunter, this is gonna be a first round draft pick," and she's, "Oh, let me hit him back," because originally
She
she was
wasn't
like,
interested in him, right?
She was not interested because didn't care because off of the appearance, she's like, "Who's this goofy looking dude?"
Right.
So until the teammate told her who Travis
And
was,
how he was about to get paid.
then they started. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Jump off, scrub their Instagram accounts or deleted their accounts.
scrubbed them, deleted accounts, deactivated accounts.
Hey,
People
Travis,
wanna-
we're not
people
telling
wanna
you,
answers.
man, to drop this girl, but
We just need some answers. Like, I know it's their business, but
it doesn't sound like she has your best interest at heart, man.
I would definitely sign a prenup for
Oh,
sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
especially
I would probably do that anyway, just
Yeah,
as an athlete. You know what I'm saying, too.
just for your own, because you work
your
too
own
hard to
sake.
get to this level to have someone just
For
come
them to
take it
get-
away from you.
Take
half,
half
and she'd be twerking on somebody else with the other half of your cheese.
with the money.
What money?
That's the juicy
Man.
news, because you know what I'm saying, we looking for some more answers. It's a lot of video surface that just need to be acknowledged, but
We're not telling you to drop her, but we telling you to drop her.
we ain't telling you to drop it.
All right, some good juicy news. Moving on to our pops, flops, and props.
Pops, flops, and props.
Oh, those pops, flops, and props. Who you popping?
Big pops is, man. We got a Michael Penix Jr. I'm gonna give pops to him. He had a good debut against the Giants. I know it's against the Giants. We got a big game against the Commanders, but my pops is gonna be him. He got us to where we're in a division lead in the NFC South, but hopefully we can withstand it with 2 weeks left.
All right, my pops is gonna go to Tiger and Charlie Woods for their second place finish at the PNC Bank Championship this past Sunday. The Woods lost on the first playoff hole to Bernhard Longer and his son Jason, but during the round, Charlie made his first ever hole-in-one. So it was a overall great performance by them. So
Mhm.
they get my pops of the week. Who you flopping?
Flops is gonna go to the Saints. We just had that goose egg on Monday night. I know they don't really have much to work with. Sorry, CC, but yeah, that's gonna be my flop because that was just bad. That was just a bad performance.
My flop
but
is
that's my
NFL
flop.
related. It's to the Chicago Bears because how do you get the ball with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock and you had at least 2 timeouts? I think you might have had all 3. You can't even get the ball in field goal range. That's great.
Bro.
That's a flop, man. That's that organization. Yeah, you got to make some changes. Ryan Poles, I like you a lot. You got to go, bro. You're the GM.
got
They
to
need
go,
a new
bruh.
GM and they need a new
You
coach.
got to go, bruh.
The GM and coach need to be in lockstep on how they're going to help Caleb Williams further his career and develop. Yeah,
better.
because right now, man, that dude, they just threw cover 0 at him and he couldn't do anything with it. He couldn't find the open receiver. They just bum rushed him at the end of the game and nothing he could do. That's my flop. Who you propping, son? Who you propping?
Props is going to go to Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I
You
meant to
heard
bring
the
him up. Good one.
Detroit Lions. Yeah, he actually so he went back to his old high
Mm-hmm.
school. Was it Northwestern?
Got the name of it. Didn't they do
Miami
kind of? They
Northwestern?
did well though, didn't they?
They
Yeah, I
won
thought
state.
won
They won
state.
state. I think it's Miami
Mm-hmm.
Northwestern. Yep, in Florida. Yeah, Miami Northwestern. Teddy Bridgewater went back there, was the head coach. They won state, and then now he's coming out of retirement to be backup QB. He signed with the Detroit Lions.
Kind of
So
funny he
that's
hops
just
on at the end of the season though, after they did all the
at the end of
hard,
the season.
heavy lifting.
But hey, that's good for him. He gets a bag. He gets a
And
state
obviously
title.
they
He gets
wanted
another
him.
bag.
They
So
didn't
yeah,
have
that's what
to
I'm saying.
sign him.
They did not have to sign him. So that's big props to Teddy for having
Yeah,
a good
good
year.
for you,
Good for
Teddy.
him.
My props is gonna go to Lamar Jackson for his performance on Christmas Day. Like I said, past Mike Vick on the all-time rushing record, or being the all-time leader now for quarterbacks rushing the ball. So props to Lamar Jackson. All right, son, we're at that point where we get to tell someone to sit your ass down. Man, sit your ass
down.
Please. And thank you. Who you telling, son?
I'm gonna sit your ass down. Is unfortunately gonna go to Mike Brown, man. I think also like Sacramento, sit your ass down. Like it can't all just be on him. I know there's certain players who are not performing, but that was just unfortunate. But Mike Brown, they told you to sit your ass down because he just got released from the Sacramento Kings. So.
Especially you just gave the man a contract extension this past summer.
Right.
It couldn't have been that bad already. Or could it?
Right.
All right, son. Mine is going to go to Mike Tyson, former champion. He's sitting back talking about he's depressed. He had all the build up to the fight, and now the fight's over, and he don't really have anything to look forward to. Mike, you just made $20 million, man. You made probably more than that. That's what they reported that you made. Man, sit your ass down. You got over on us. Then he wants to call out Logan Paul. Man, I wouldn't watch you fight anybody in the world.
If it was like that Jake Paul fight, I'm not
through
watching
with Jake Paul. As I stated in our chat, I'll never watch another one of his fights. I might watch a replay if they told me he got knocked out. Then I might watch that. But outside of him trying to have a sanctioned fight is what I'm trying to say, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm good. Mike, sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
All right, son, man. Great content. That went fast. Happy birthday again to you, Sonny.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
That was nice.
Appreciate
the fellas came in and saying happy birthday to you. I know we got a little more celebrating to do. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
But as always, we have to thank you all for listening to the Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
No Diddy. Don't forget that merch. All logos. If you just want it to be your logo, this is the old. This goes all the way back when we first started doing our merch.
Go back. You know that.
So, yeah. As always, tell them, D.
Hey, but until next time,
Sir.
I'ma holler.
Slipping. He's gonna holler.